Hello viewers, welcome to another exciting episode of African Voices in Europe. On today's show, we will be diving into the unique experiences of Africans living, studying and thriving in Europe. Our special guest, Lawal, who will be sharing his personal journey, challenges and triumphs as he navigates lives abroad. Get ready for an insightful conversation about culture, identity and what it means to be part of the African diaspora in Europe. Stay tuned for an inspiring and thought-provoking episode. I am your host, Aigu Joshua Oyamo, and this is your show, 5020 Newcomers, coming to you live from FS1 Community Televisions here in Salzburg. So, like I said before, our guest on this show today is Lawal. Good afternoon, Mr. Lawal.
Good afternoon, Mr. Joshua.
Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode on African Voices in Europe.
You're welcome.
So what was your first thought when we extended our invitation to you to come for the show?
I was like, oh, this is a really interesting program.
Okay.
Because I believe this is the way we can showcase ourselves and also show that we coming from Africa, there are things that will help us to like show our culture, show how we are able to like adapt to a new culture, a new system. Yeah. And this will help people back home to be able to understand the journey on how are they going to cope and what ways they need to prepare for the journey ahead of them.
Thank you so much. We are really glad that you were able to make it today to this place. So viewers, that is our guest, Lawal. He's going to tell you a little bit about himself, Mr. Lawal. So can you just give us a little introduction about yourself?
My name is Adebisi Moses Lawal from Nigeria. I was born in Lagos State, and I grew up in Lagos, but I did my primary school was in Lagos State. So after I finished my primary school, I proceed to my secondary school, which I have to go back to my learning, which is Kwara State, where my dad is from. So I studied, my secondary school was in Kwara State in Ilorin precisely. So after that, I further on to my degree program in political science, also at University of Ilorin in Ilorin, Kwara State. And the reason for me going on to study political science is because of the family background I came from. My father is an active politician, so which inspired me a lot. And also I have a mentor then, the former governor of my state, which is it's late now, Admiral Mohammed Alabi Lawal. So he was my mentor. So that is what prepared me to like, I have to study political science. I have to know the nook and crannies of this course to be able to contribute to my society also.
Yeah, you've heard it all from Lawal. Lawal, a political science student. And I believe you are also studying political science here in Salzburg.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about the journey? What inspired you to come to Salzburg for studying?
Actually, during my degree, I've always have the plan like whenever I want to do my master's, I have to do it outside the country. I have to see the other culture and learn from other people, and be able to I will be able to see politics and worldview from other perspective, not only from Nigeria perspective. Because because I realized that when when I was in 300 going to 400 level, there was one of my professor. He was a doctor then. He studied in Singapore for his doctorate degree. So after that, he came back to Nigeria. So I see that the pattern of his teaching was different from others. So that also inspires me a lot that me also, by the time I want to do my master's, I will not do it in Nigeria. I have to do it outside the country to be able to get that perspective and to get that knowledge and other social background from other cultural settings.
So you always have it as a dream to study your master's outside Nigeria.
Yeah.
Was there any specific reason for picking Salzburg?
One of the reasons is this, because it's not, when I wanted to apply, I applied to a school in Norway. Although it was not on political science, it was on culture and also conflict management.
Okay.
They gave me an admission also there. I applied here in Salzburg for political science, and also I applied to Graz for PEP, political economic and legal philosophy.
Okay.
I was given admission also there, but I compared the three, and based on my background coming up as a political science and my dream of impacting my society, impacting Nigeria, helping in the policies and program in the country, I decided that, okay, let me go first because I'm highly interested in the PEP course, but I said, there is no harm in having 2 masters.
Okay.
So let me go for my political science first, so that I'll be able to have the real background, the grounded knowledge I needed in political science. And also, political science department University of Salzburg is ranked highly in Europe.
Oh.
So, and the educational system is high. So I said, okay, let me go for that. And also because when I checked the curriculum, it was more of a seminar base.
Yeah.
So compared to other ones I've seen, so I see that seminar based, it helps a lot because you'll be able to, whenever there's a lecture, different opinion, it will be like a round table.
Yeah.
So it's different from only a lecturer just teaching you. You have a knowledge across the board.
So you could be able to communicate back to the lecturer. Other students can also contribute to whatever you guys have been taught.
Yeah.
So moving to a new country is not something that is easy. Moving to Europe from Africa, from Nigeria, is not something that is easy. So how were you able to meet these challenges that comes with it?
It's not easy. No, back in Nigeria, in Africa generally, there is like a communal living.
Yeah.
But coming down here is a different ball game entirely. They are like Salzburg, for example. Now, what I realized is that they are like conservative. They are always just on their own. There is no that communal life.
Yeah.
But what helps me is that when I came, I was able to see some Africans, people from Nigeria, which are coursemate and doing other courses. So it helps me to settle down more than I would have expected, because I've emphasized that whenever you are, because this is what part of what we have been taught as a political scientist is that you need to be able to adapt to system, to challenges in life. So I've already emphasized that this is a new country I'm going to. Definitely there will be challenges. It's not left to you to see how you can adapt to that challenges.
True.
So by meeting new people, by meeting some Nigerians here, it helps me to adapt quickly than I anticipated.
Yeah. So meeting people, meeting also Nigerians in Austria helped you to adapt into the society quickly.
Yeah.
Were there any cultural shock when you got here?
Yeah. For example, my first day in class, so after the class, like the class is ended, everybody started banging the table. I was like, what is this? How can you be banging the table that the class, I asked someone, what? They said that is the way to like end the class. You have to knock the table. I said, this is somehow good to the professor. But they said, this is the way of life here. I was like, how? Interesting.
Can you try that in Nigeria?
That is not possible.
Okay.
It's shock to me, because how can you be banging, your lecturer is still talking and you're banging the table, like it's over. And even people before, some people like, if the lecturer like, maybe the course should end by 12:45 and the lecturer is taking more time, people walk out, which in my country, you can't. The lecturer must be the first person to walk out of the class, not you. So this is one of the
cultural shocks. Yes, brilliant. So how did you find it easy to adapt to the learning system? Because you believe me, that the learning system is totally going to be different from what you are coming from, Nigeria.
Yeah.
So how did you find it easy to adapt to the learning system, the professors in Salzburg?
And what really helped me is that this is not my first time of traveling out of the country.
Okay.
I've been in Dubai.
Oh, wonderful.
So, and during my stay in Dubai, I did some courses. So it helps me a lot because the system there, where it's similar to what is attainable here. So from what I've experienced in Dubai during my course there, it helps me to like build, to change the system that I've known to of like lecture, because that one also was like lecture and it was a mix, not, so it has prepared me
to what you are coming to meet.
To what I'm coming to meet here. Although here was a pure seminar base, but there it helps a lot because of the mixture of the blend that is in a, that I've go through during my course there.
Nice. So what were your some of the biggest challenges faced as an international student in Salzburg?
One of it is the language barrier.
Okay. Everybody talks about this.
It's not easy to adapt when you don't understand a language, because in line of communication, language is very important.
Yeah.
So that is one of the challenges. And also, I came during the winter semester when it's very cold. It's extremely cold. And also, I came late for the course. It was the last week of registration. So I have to, because they started the lecture, so I have to write the professors. I have to write them personal email to introduce myself, to solicit for them to give me, because the classes has already started and it's a seminar base. It's not like a lecture base. So once it started, they close it for the semester. So I have to convince them. So luckily, some of them responded back, and because I'm already late, so I have to put in more effort. So these are some of the challenges you made. And also when I came because of winter, and so to get like a part-time job was somehow difficult. So, and also I don't have much time to look for it because I have to concentrate on my study because I'm already late.
Yeah, in schedule.
So that is part of, but I was able to overcome the obstacle. And here I am today.
So was there any point in time you felt like giving up and going back to Nigeria?
No, because in my dictionary, there is nothing like giving up.
So you came prepared?
Nothing like giving up in my dictionary.
Yeah, that's nice. So for you, living in Salzburg for how long now?
By next month, 18 would be my 1 year in Salzburg.
Okay.
A year in Salzburg.
So I believe you must have seen a lot of misconceptions, different misconceptions. There are misconceptions about Europe to people in Africa, people in Nigeria. Why there are misconceptions about we Africans to people in Europe. We'll be talking about these misconceptions.
Okay. When you are saying, in terms of the misconception, what type of misconception you are talking about?
The way people in Europe sees Africa, for example.
Okay.
Have you experienced anything, maybe from your classmates, from your professors, from your neighbors, from your workplace? Have you experienced any misconceptions so far?
Yeah. There was an incident that some of my classmates, some of them, they believe that Africa is like maybe people coming from there, they are not that sound. They look down like we are not that sound compared to them. But because there was a course then because I came late, so, and the course entails like a different projects. It's on campaign and election. Yeah. So whereby you have to develop, like the team has to adopt a candidate. Okay. And we have to develop a campaign strategy for the candidate to be able to like win an election. So unfortunately, I came late to the class. So I have to, me and a Nigerian, us, we both came late, so we have to join a group. So when we join the group, the first submission of the assignment is just 2 days. So we can't make any meaningful contribution within those periods, because those days also we have to go to do some, yeah, when you come, you have to go to the magistrate to try to like do some registration.
Yeah.
So we don't have enough time to be able to contribute within that 48 hours. So we explained the situation of things to them that, okay, this is a continuous assignment. It's not just a one, is a for the whole semester. So that the subsequent one will be able to contribute to the assignment. So when we submitted the assignment, the subsequent one has a date. So we are like, guys, when are we going to start this second one so that we be able to, unfortunately, we just realized that we are being removed from the group.
Wow.
I was like, my colleague from Nigeria was like, she even wants to, a lady, they are emotional than we guys. So she was like, I have to go and challenge these people. This is wrong. Why would they remove us from group? Because you cannot just remove from group without also, you have to state the reason.
For removing
no reason, and they would have communicated the reason to the professor before they can go ahead to just remove us from the group. So we are shocked. I told Dad, I said, don't worry. This is part of the challenges of life. The only way you can show them that you are capable is for you to be able to do the same assignments.
And do it very well.
And do it very well. So we went to meet the professor that, oh, this is what we realized. We have been removed. The professor said, I know the work will be too much for 2 people. That's why the group should be 5. So, and in this kind of situation that has happened, if you guys can just form your own group too, I know it will be difficult, but if you can do it, that is how you can show what you have upstairs.
Yeah.
So we swim to work. We are the only 2. And at the end of the day, the last presentation, all of them in the class was like, wow. So Nigerians can produce such a campaign. Even after the class, those people that they have to come out, that how do we do the voiceover? Because they were like, do you have the instrument? We said, no, we are from Africa. We always provide. We provide for things
to happen.
They were, from there, we are able to change the conception about like these people are not. I don't know. Maybe they experienced something
before your guys.
So maybe that's why they. But we are able to change that perception about Nigeria.
Nigerian students in Salzburg. You see, hello viewers, this is your show, 5020 Newcomers, coming to you live from FS1 television here in Salzburg. And this is African Voices in Europe. And in the studio, we are with Mr. Olabisi Lawal, who is a student of political science of Paris London University. And he has been sharing light on his journey from Nigeria to Salzburg, Europe. And he has been telling us a lot of things. I guess you guys are being educated right now. So, Mr. Lawal, I want you to share a little bit of light on the misconceptions of Africans about Europe, because I know you've been here for a while. There are so many things that people in Nigeria think happens in Europe which are not true, which actually does not happen. So since you've been here, I think you have some of those things. Can you share some light?
Yeah, some people do believe that there is some form of racism, but I've not experienced such in Salzburg.
Okay.
There might be in some other places, because I'm just talking from my own personal experience, apart from the misconception of students like, but any form of racism, I've not experienced it. For the past 11 to almost a year I've spent here in Salzburg. And also, people do, there's some misconception also like, when you get to Europe, there's money flowing on the ground. That is not true. That is not true. Okay. You have to work your ass off. You have to you have to work for it, for the money.
Yeah.
You have to work for the money.
So, and has working been easy for you?
Work has not, for you to, you have to combine work and study. It has, let's be frank, it has not been easy.
Okay.
It has not been easy. But one thing about life is once you have the dedication, the willingness, and if you are able to like organize yourself properly, things will be easier
for you.
But it's not easy the way people think it is.
It is. So a quick one. How many hours of sleep do you get in a day?
In a day? From me, I don't joke with my sleep.
Okay.
Because from my research, sleep is highly important for you to work efficiently, and it helps your brain a lot. Okay. So I don't joke with my sleep. Whenever there is time for me to sleep, even if I'm doing anything, I keep it at that moment. Because they said health is wealth.
Is what?
If you have a good sleep, you'll be able to perform better than you expected to do. Because your brain, your body will be able to relax properly. So at least 7 to 8 hours.
A day?
A day. I have to. It's highly mandatory.
That is nice for you to be able to still sleep 7 to 8 hours in Salzburg.
Thumbs up. Planning. But sometimes whenever when I have like an assignment to submit, get to submit. That's why I said I don't joke with my sleep. Sometimes I don't sleep all through the night. If I have a project to submit, because I put my commitment in anything I'm doing. So at that time, I deny myself of the sleep. But if I don't have anything doing,
you have to sleep.
I have to sleep.
So now, we want to go to cultural integration. You've been in Salzburg for quite a while. I agree with you that you've been a political science student. You have a lot of other culture difference in your school, other Africans, other people from other countries, other continents. How have you been be able to be integrated into this group of other people, Europeans, Asians, Americans, Africans as well, like you?
Culture is a very beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So as an individual, whenever I like to meet new people, to know more about their culture, because you learn things, you learn from people's culture.
Yeah.
There is things that can impact the way you behave, impact your life through other culture. So that is what gives me the edge to be able to like integrate, because I always emphasize like, oh, I want to know about your culture. And me knowing your culture is to learn things whereby can be useful for me, whereby I can take back home to my own system.
That's so nice. So you've been able to be integrated into other African culture?
Yeah.
Other African cultures. What about Nigeria society in Salzburg? Have you been able to connect with Nigerians?
Yeah.
Other Nigerian people society here?
Yes. Even there is a Yoruba society here.
Okay. Odudua.
Yeah.
Which you are part from.
Yes.
Okay.
Although it's I don't want people to have that misconception of like maybe promoting division of Nigeria.
No. Yeah, just promoting your culture.
My culture.
Yeah.
Because Nigeria is always one, and I'm key to that. Oneness of Nigeria. There is nothing that can separate us because we have been together and we are the same. So there is nothing like the Igbos, the Yoruba. To me, we are one.
We are one Nigeria.
We are one Nigeria. So it's just the culture part is what I'm talking about. Like the Odudua, we just name it because as a Yoruba, Odudua is the founder of a Yoruba.
Yeah, Yoruba.
So outside the Nigeria, when a Yoruba is coming together, that's why they put it like Odudua.
Yeah.
So it's not as if
for me, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, no, that's what. But people, we are now in the age of internet, whereby, and also people take word out of context for their own personal gain. As a political scientist and as a future politician, I have
just want to make it clear, that
because anything can happen in the next 10 years. Somebody can just put it out of context that, oh, he was talking about Oduduwa. I'm not talking about Oduduwa Republic. This is just Oduduwa, a culture. Like Yoruba people in Salzburg coming together and they said, oh, this is Oduduwa. So that's why I need to clarify that aspect. Yeah,
it's nice. So you people have a meeting date, you people communicate?
Yes.
Do you speak Yoruba?
Yeah, we speak Yoruba there. And one of the reasons why they do that is, you know, most people, when they go outside the country, their kids don't even know how to speak their language, which is very, very bad.
Okay.
And this is one of the things I learned in Salzburg here. Their language, their culture is very important to them.
Okay.
This is a mistake we Nigerians will make. We look down on our culture whenever we go outside the country, which is very wrong. We need to imbibe that culture. They don't joke with Dutch. Wherever you go, they don't joke with their language and with their culture. They see their culture as superior, which is what we even have learned more from them, that you need to hold your culture tight. You need to embrace your culture. Culture defines who you are as a human being.
And seeing you today, I think this is your culture.
Yeah,
anybody seeing you and your outfit knows that this is a Yoruba man.
Yeah, I'm proud.
You're proud to be a Yoruba man.
I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud to be a Yoruba man. Any day, anytime. And I'm proud to be a Nigerian.
That is nice. Thank you so much. So how often, because here in Salzburg, we speak English, we speak German. We speak Dutch. So how often do you speak your language?
Very often, because I do communicate with my people back home.
Okay.
And whenever I see a Nigerian that I know that you're a Nigerian and you're a Yoruba, I do speak Yoruba with you. I don't care. Even if you are speaking Dutch or English, I reply you Yoruba.
Nice. So when we have to start building that system, we have to start building that culture on the upcoming ones, the future generation. You have to imbibe it in them, that man. You need to learn how to speak your language, because this is your identity.
Yes.
Because the guy speaking Dutch, that is their language.
And that is their identity.
That is their identity.
They are not ashamed of their identity.
Of speaking their language.
And even this is one of the problems we have in our educational system.
Okay.
Because when I traveled to Dubai, I realized that Indians in their school, they teach them with Urdu.
Okay.
Because when you teach someone with the language is conversant to it, it will be able to understand what is he or she is being taught. But in Nigeria, fine, we understand that we have different languages, we have different culture, and English is the official language. Yes, English is the official language, but nowadays we've relegated down all the other major languages, like the Igbo, the Hausa, the Yorubas. We need to bring back history into our culture. We need to make sure these lecturers, these teachers, they were able to communicate to students also in their language when they are teaching them, so that what they are teaching them will be able to sync, to be able to go in properly. Because this is a two challenges. Some is still learning the language, English, and you are still teaching that person in English. This is a double jeopardy.
Serious problem.
This is a double jeopardy. We need to imbibe, and from what I read, because I always read about the history of Nigeria. This was not what when educational system started in Nigeria then. From what I read, they teach people in English and your local language. But because we don't value our cultural system, everything change, because we want to be like, in quotes, foreigner. You see people started speaking British English. They change their accent they are not proud of who they are.
but forgetting to understand the fact that there's an identity which you carry, like how you have showed up this morning.
Identity is highly important.
Totally appreciate your outfit today, because this is what I am looking for on African Voices. I hope we have more guests that are going to come to this show to showcase the African nature in them, to show the fact that they are from so place and nothing changes this fact. So moving on, quick one for you, please. I want you to tell us what has been your favorite experience in Salzburg since you came to Salzburg.
Salzburg is a very beautiful place.
Yeah, everybody agrees. Salzburg is a very beautiful place.
It's a very beautiful place. I've been to outskirts of Salzburg. I've been to Ulster.
Yeah.
And it's a mountain, and it's, from what I read, it's an history of whereby there is like production of salt during those days. Yeah. And they were, from the production of the salt, they were able to make a lot of money to feed the treasury in Venice. So I've been there, and the place was a breathtaking.
Oh.
When you be at the top of the mountain, you'll be able to see the surroundings in a unique way. And you'll be able to like appreciate nature and appreciate the power of God Almighty that created nature. This is one of the experiences you've been able to. And also during the last Christmas, that's why I said the culture is very important. We need to change our mindset as an Africa and embrace our culture. Because I was able to, like, during the last Christmas, I think they call it Krampus something, whereby people dress in a scary way, like masquerade dressing during the Christmas period, festive period. And I was like, when I saw it, I was like,
masquerade in Salzburg.
Masquerade in Salzburg.
Masquerade in Salzburg.
And we
have masquerade, we are abolishing it.
We are abolishing
because
it.
We said it's evil.
It's evil.
It's crazy.
I was like, we as an Africa, this is what I grown up to know, masquerade, dancing festive period, like in Lagos we have Eyo Festival. But a lot of people criticize this festival.
And say this is evil.
This is evil, but this is predominantly a Catholic society.
Yeah.
And they were able to show their culture. So we should know that religion and culture can coexist.
And even showcasing their culture during a time like that, Christmas, which we tag as the birth of Jesus Christ.
You can see they were able to blend it, but we back home, we discard our culture instead of we to be able to mix it together, to blend it together.
So with all this you are saying, Mr. Lawal, I don't need anybody else to tell me that when you get back to Nigeria, you're going to foster more that culture should be upheld, right?
Yeah, this is one of the things, if I'm fortunate to hold on to power in Nigeria.
Someday.
Yeah, in someday, which I know I will. I will. I know. I'm 100% sure of that.
Yeah.
Because it's something that has been in me since a childhood to impact my society.
Yeah.
This is my aim and this is my goal in life, to contribute to my country. Yeah. To contribute my quota to my country. And that is one of the reasons why I travel out of the country, to learn and unlearn. Yeah. Unlearn what is not good and to relearn what is good. Yeah. And transform it and look at how I can imbibe these new ideas, these new things into the society, how I can change the society for the good.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are really grateful for this opportunity. You've heard it all from Mr. Lawal, who is a student of political science here in Salzburg, Paris, London University. And don't forget, this is your show, 5020 Newcomers, reaching you live from FS1 Community Television in Salzburg. And this is African Voices. And I'm your host, Aigu Joshua, and I'm in the studio with Mr. Lawal from Nigeria. And he has been sharing light on his journey from Nigeria to Europe to study, and what he has seen, what he has unlearned, and what he has learned, and what he wants to take back to Nigeria. And you all have to believe that culture is one thing that the people, the European people, hold in a high esteem. They don't joke with their culture, they don't joke with their languages. And we in Africa, most of us are abolishing most of our culture. We are abolishing most of our thing, our traditional thing, and we are taking the European way of life when we are supposed to be upholding our own way of life.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Lawal, the last question for you, any advice for upcoming students or anybody that wants to leave Nigeria to Europe? Anything you want to tell them in preparing them ahead of what they are coming to meet here?
I would advise them to take this journey. It is best for them.
Okay.
Because when you are in your comfort zone,
yeah,
you will not be able to think out of the box. But once you move from point A to point B,
yeah,
which you are leaving your comfort zone to a place of uncertainty,
yeah,
you'll be able to see the world in another way.
different perspective.
Not the way you've known from all
your life.
So it is a good experience, and I will encourage a lot of Nigerians, a lot of youth, to get to go, even if it's for your master's or PhD, go out there, go to foreign country, acquire the knowledge, and go back to the country
and impart what you've learned from those people back to your own people.
To your own country.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lawal.
And if you also decide to stay back home, fine, but you can still learn even when you are back home because now we are in the internet age, we are in the internet world. Anything that is happening anywhere in the world, you can be able to also see it.
Yeah.
So people back home, what I will encourage them is that they should try to not be lazy and make more research of how things are done outside their shore.
Yeah.
How things are being organized outside Nigeria. Through internet, you can gain a lot of experience also, even if you are not living in the country. Because not everybody will have the means or what we call the money. Because it's not a...
Yeah, because that was one thing that we have to put into consideration.
Yeah.
Finances is also part of this experience. Coming to Europe is not something that comes cheap.
Yeah, you have to prepare for it.
Prepare for it.
Yeah. So, and if you don't have the opportunity, that doesn't mean you will not be able to learn what is
happening in other places.
In other places. We are now in the internet age.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lawal. So to the viewers, that is our time. We are going to bring you more episodes, more guests to come and share lights on their European experience, because remember, this is your show, African Voices in Europe. So we have a lot of Africans living in Europe with a lot of different stories, with a lot of different cultural shock. And this show brings these stories to you. This show brings those cultural shock to your doorstep. This show educates you. So like Mr. Lawal said, for those of us who could not have the opportunity to travel down to this place to learn, to see what it is, shows like this, African Voices in Europe, are going to educate you and tell you this is what it is and this is what it's not. Thank you for staying tuned to this program today. Till we come your way next time. This is our time. My name remains Aigu Joshua, and this is FS1 Television, and this is your show, 50/20 Newcomers, African Voices in Europe. It's a bye-bye for now. Bye. Thank you so much, boss.